Hey lambs, hey kids, and welcome back to the Hey Lamb podcast. I'm your host Matt, aka Treacle. Go ahead and follow me over on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm at TreacleTots. And if you want to support the podcast on Instagram, it's Hey Lamb Podcast. Welcome to my little safe space on the internet where we get to geek out together about all things Mariah Carey. Today, I'm really excited because I have my first in-person guest here with me in my home is my good friend Nayth Moore. Welcome to the podcast again. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Now let's just let everyone know.
Yes.
You have been here pretty much all day.
Pretty much.
We're recording this at, let me check the time. It is 11:20 p.m. and you got into town like 10 hours ago.
Mm-hmm. I certainly did.
So remind everyone where you're from and a little bit about yourself, Nayth.
So, hi, I'm Nayth and I'm from Cambridge. A village just outside Cambridge. And yeah.
And Nayth and I have been friends. I don't like to count the years, but it's
Neither
been,
do I.
well,
I
from since like what, emancipation era.
No, before.
Oh no, oh
the
god, it was like
emancipation.
Charm Bracelet, wasn't it?
Yeah, just after Charm Bracelet Tour.
Charm Bracelet Tour, yes. So my memories of you are Charm Bracelet Tour to Emancipation era, and then we didn't see each other for the longest time, and then we bumped into each other.
We did.
When 02 for the Sweet Sweet Fantasy Tour,
Yes.
2016, and you were on crutches.
I was on crutches and a splint on my knee.
And we met outside the toilets because I was waiting for my friends, my girlfriends.
Yes.
And one of them was very, very festive. And she went into the toilets at the end of the concert barefoot. And I'm there waiting, I'm so happy to see you. But I was like, oh my God, I really hope you don't bump into my really drunk friend because she's making a bit of a show of herself. You might have done.
Remember
but I was like,
Festivus.
oh my God, Nayth has grown up. Like, because that's the first time I met you as a man.
And dislocated his knee.
And dislocated your knee. Because there's just the smallest of age gaps between us, darling.
We don't acknowledge
We're not counting numbers, we don't acknowledge them. But it was like, oh my gosh, like Nayth's all grown up at the Sweet Sweet Fantasy Tour. And then we kept in touch. And then you visited me here in my little seaside town on the south coast of England a year ago. And I can't believe it's been, and you actually hit me up like, can I come back? It's been a year. I'm like, yes, let's book it. So this has been in the diary for
It's like a holiday home.
Well, it's by the sea, and last time you came, the sun was out, and we were on the balcony, and like whatever. And today we've had like a wet, cozy one, and we've had home cooking. Yeah. We've had a few boys over for a few drinks. We've had some festivities, but no frivolities. And I said we need to record a podcast. Please, let's record a podcast episode,
even if it is nearly midnight.
Yeah, do you know what? By the time we finish this, it will be after midnight. But this is really fun. We don't acknowledge time or numbers. But I've never recorded a podcast in person.
Wow.
And we were just not talking shit. We were like just talking. I'm like, okay, we just need to put the cameras up. But that's the thing. Put the cameras up, put the lighting up, because it's a video podcast. We need to make sure, we can be seen and stuff. And let's just kiki. Let's just knock out a podcast episode or two. We'll see.
And it's just, it's easy to do because we're going to be talking about Mariah anyway. So
we talk about Mariah all the time.
We might as well just film it.
Now, before we get stuck into today's topic, I've given like a little bit of brief background of, like how we met and stuff. But just tell everyone a little bit about, where they can find you online and like what you're up to online, because you've got a few interesting things of your own.
So I have a few avenues. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube at I am Nayth Moore. Nayth spelled with a Y, so N-A-Y-T-H, just to be different. And that's about the only things I really have. But
what about like your books and the reading and everything? Do you have an Instagram account as well?
So I do have a Bookstagram account, which is the Rainbow Reader _
That's it, Rainbow Reader,
I think is the name. And yeah, so that's where I post, like, if I'm reading a book that I'm enjoying, I post it on there and follow my journey. So
I'm sure you guys, if you are following me and you're watching my YouTube channel, then you already follow Nayth and watch it, because we have done a few things several little moments together already because we were in book club together.
Yes.
Which actually we've said and we haven't, but this evening we need to do a couple little video DMs, shout outs to Taz and Dimitri, and also Michael, because Michael was there for one.
Yeah.
So we need to give the boys a little shout out. What else did we do? Oh, hello, Lamb versus Lamb, the quiz series. Because okay, so you guys, if you are fairly new to my channel, then you need to go and check out Lamb versus Lamb on my YouTube channel, because that is you and I, and the first quiz series were filmed here, like over there in the other corner of the room. People made quizzes for us to play against each other. Even a Christmas one, and last September 2020, because that was in between lockdowns here in England, so we were allowed to travel. You were allowed to travel. I was allowed to host, accommodate, and we wanted to do like, how many did you do? Like 3 quizzes, 4 quizzes, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do a Christmas one, so I made Nayth put my Christmas tree up with me.
Such a chore. Like, who wants to put a Christmas tree up in September?
Oh,
I was not complaining whatsoever.
But we put the tree up, and I had to figure out where it's going to fit. And then we sat there, like it was a warm September weekend, and we on your last day here.
It was warm.
It was warm.
On its own, and then we had lights and...
I wore a freaking Santa hat. I was so hot. And I was like, let's get through the quiz. I'm so hot. But we brought you guys 3 or 4 Lamb versus Lamb quiz videos to my YouTube channel, which are loads of fun. And then we've done a little bit over like Zoom, and we did a live one. And by the time this comes out, you guys, you will have hopefully already seen that Nayth and I have done another live stream. So right here, we're recording this.
It's so many firsts, like the first podcast in person, and the first quiz in person,
like first live stream
hosted.
in person. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this. So we're recording this on a Friday evening, and Nayth is here for 2 nights, 3 days. So tomorrow evening. Tomorrow we're going to go out, we're going to go for a walk, the weather's going to be nice, we're going for a pub, lunch, and go for a walk and everything. And then we come back in the evening.
Craving gravy.
We need a good pub feed. And then in the evening, we are co-hosting a Lamb versus Lamb quiz. So if you guys haven't already caught that by the time this goes out, head over to my YouTube channel and check out Nayth and I, not quizzing against each other, but co-hosting together. That's the deal tomorrow. But this is cool. It's so much fun to have another lamb in the household, and we can geek out. So we had a couple of boys over earlier, which sounds
not in that way.
Not in that way. I had a couple of straight male friends who are not lambs, not Mariah fans at all.
Slightest.
And one was planned, one was impromptu, and it was just a few drinks, a few like. I love the whole like pass the remote, like you pick a song, then you pick a song, you pick a song.
Mine was mainly Mariah.
yeah, but the kids need educating, so that was good. And then they disappeared, and then we just get to geek out together now for the rest of the evening. After this podcast, I'm looking forward to. I think we can do live performances. Like again, you'll pick one, I'll pick one. We go back and forth. But what we're going to talk about today in this podcast is the Rarities revisited, because here we are.
The
October.
CD, not the leg muscle thing.
Not the leg muscle thing. You said that earlier. You were stroking your leg through your PJs, like, oh my gosh, I've got the Rarity.
I did. The way I was sat with like one leg bent, and I was sat on it, and then the other one was like out straight, and I did feel a Rarity.
You have to feel that definition up the thigh,
and then I stood up and it was flabby. So.
Oh, not your camera, sorry. So the Rarities came out a year and 2 weeks ago. So we're going to touch on this. I'm going to go through track by track, and I love this because I shared my first listen to the entire album as a live stream on my channel. But do you remember when you came down, we listened to Out Here on My Own for the first time.
I'd never heard it. Like, I didn't even know
you hadn't heard the original.
I hadn't heard the original. I hadn't watched The Fame. Still haven't watched The Fame, which is on my to-do list. I definitely want to watch
You've got to watch Fame. You've got to watch Fame.
Maybe I'll watch it on the train home, but I didn't really know what I was expecting with Out Here on My Own. Maybe we should wait until we get down to.
Well, we'll talk about it, but when we get to it, that'll be track 8 on the Rarities. But that was really fun because I said to you, "Oh my gosh, you're traveling down. You're going to arrive on Friday, Saturday." It comes out that day, like 5 a.m. But you won't get here till the evening. So I said, I will refrain from listening to it till you get here. And again, my first ever video, like 2 people in the room, and we set up together and we filmed it. And I'm going to quickly pull up my YouTube channel here on my little tappy computer, because I want to say it's like top 5 videos on my channel.
And we filmed it, you edited it and uploaded it all in one
Oh
day.
my God, it went up like that night, didn't it? It really did. Okay.
Because I remember the editing process.
Oh my gosh, do you? No, I don't remember editing it. I don't remember. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm on my YouTube channel. Sort by most popular. Right, number 1, Mariah Carey speaks on Water. Number 2, first look at Mariah Carey with Ariana Grande. Number 3, Mariah rates and drags her own songs. Reacting to Mariah Carey, the Rarities track listing, solo. Number 5, fairly recent, Ryan Reynolds talks about featuring Mariah Carey and Free Guy. Mariah answers fan questions. Mariah Carey interviews Cardi B. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's number 8.
Top 10
is reacting to Mariah Carey Out Here on My Own with You, and it's 11,000. And do you know what? Actually, to be fair, 2 of my most popular videos have been the past 2 months. Mariah on Twitter, 15,000, 16,000. So yeah, I thought you were top 5, but our video is top 8. That's a year ago, so I'm really pleased because we don't get these moments enough.
We don't.
Like, Christmas music is coming, and I'm looking forward to, oh my gosh, there's a new song. I'm not going to listen till I go home, and I sort my face out, sort my lighting out, and I sit down, and I'll press play, and I will listen to it on camera for the first time. So that was really fun when you came down, that we both got to listen to a new song, but something that Mariah had sat on for 20 years, and I've known you for most of those 20 years. So that was crazy. That's quite special.
Well, we met 2 years after she recorded it, so 3 years after she recorded it. So
yeah.
Oh
my gosh!
Like 23rd of October, 2003, maybe. I don't know numbers.
You're better with the chart bracelet dates than me.
I don't know why I'm so good at dates, because I hate numbers, but
So the rarities. Oh my gosh! We'll go track by track, but before we do, just in general, how do you feel about the Rarities? Because a year on, because it's not a studio album, it's not a compilation, but it's somewhere in between.
It's a hybrid.
So a year on, do you think it was a success? Do you think it was worth it?
I don't think it was a commercial success, but I don't think it was put out to be a commercial success. I don't think she was expecting like E = MC squared opening sales at all. And I think it was a very good move. We've all wanted the songs, the songs that we already knew about, like Slipping Away, Everything Fades Away, and Do You Think of Me? We wanted them, and we got them, and then some. So it's nice to hear like different renditions of songs that we already heard, like I Pray.
Yeah.
And it is, I would be quite confident in to say it's probably, if I was looking at my Spotify, it'd probably be at the top of the albums that I listen to regularly.
Do you play it in order, or do you like jukebox it, shuffle it?
Sometimes I shuffle it. Sometimes the only thing I don't like about shuffling it is that it puts in the live.
Yeah.
Which I don't like. Yeah. And I've tried so hard to make a playlist.
Yeah, well, that's what I did.
Just the disc 1, I guess it is.
Yeah.
But it's... I don't know why I never finished it.
But I feel like you have to, because it takes you in and out. And then when you listen to the live album, the live portion, you get like, she introduced, okay, so this next song, blah, 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 then it cuts and it goes to a different song. So then
I
it's difficult.
love the I Don't Want to Cry. I think that I Don't Want to Cry live is better than the
God,
studio.
yeah. That version is the version.
And that's obviously her famous lines of, speaking Japanese and things. And I can't remember what song she sings before that. I think it might be Forever.
Let me. So I've got the track list in front of me. Okay, it goes Forever, I Don't Want to Cry, Fantasy.
So she sings Forever, and then that's a moment because she's filming the music video.
Yes.
And then she's like, so I'm going to practice my little Japanese phrase that I learned. I'm not going to say it.
You did it earlier. Go on. You've only had a couple of wines. Okay, so go for it.
So she goes... I'm going to practice my little Japanese phrase that I learned. Practice my little Japanese phrase that I learned. you got to cut me a break because I'm new in town.
Uh-huh.
Kona kokua, tatsimo samishi koko des. I don't want to cry. Right, Kokoa? I don't know. I'm American, man.
Sounds spot on to me,
just
darling.
like she said it, I'm sure. And if you put it on shuffle, you'll listen to Forever and It's a Moment, and then she'll start being like, oh, I'm going to say my Japanese phrase. And then like she gets halfway through it and then it cuts out. And it's like...
Yeah, it's weird.
Now
yeah.
I'm like listening to Can You Hear Me? And it's like... I wanted to listen to I Don't Want to Cry, so I don't...
You have to separate them into two halves, and the Tokyo Dome, you have to...
Already.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I kind of wish that, the Rarities was 2 discs, and then we had Tokyo Dome, or like with another concert as its own thing. But no, I do have a playlist that is just disc 1, so we've got the 15 tracks, and I shuffle them, and some I
So you
skip,
never listen to it in
I
chronological order?
No, I jukebox it.
Okay.
I like to shuffle it. But yeah, we'll go through and do a track, just because otherwise it's like it's too predictable, and it's not like an album. It's like, okay, so if I listen to Rainbow, I can't just have Petals and then go to Bliss, and then if she's sequenced things, because we've got Petals and Rainbow Interlude. Thank God I Found You.
Yeah.
Me I Am. We've got not Me I Am. Memoirs. We've got Angels into Angel Cry, and we've got Languishing. I Want to Know What Love Is. If things are sequenced in a certain way, I like them. I like albums in chunks sometimes. The Rarities, I don't care. It's not sequenced. It's just in chronological order. It's not that, oh, Here We Go Around Again has to go into Can You Hear Me? It's just we've got something from 1990. And then something from 1991. So I like to jukebox it and like, oh, what's next? And that's been a test for me as to which songs I really, really do genuinely like, because something comes on and your gut instinct is, oh, yay! Or, again, already. So that's what I enjoy about jukeboxing it.
It is very rare that I listen to the album chronologically, because it will be like, I'll be in the kitchen, I'll be like, oh, I really fancy listening to Here We Go Round Again, so I'll be like, Alexa, play.
Yeah.
Or it will be shuffled. But there are times when I do, lay in bed and I'm like, I want to listen to it like chronologically.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't follow a sequence like you said, or a storyline or whatever. But
well, we're going to go track by track, but overall, I'm just so happy. I remember it being a little bit, okay, say Rumoured. I'm going to blow my trumpet one more time. I kind of forecast it, because we've got cast our minds back to MC30, and we're getting the weekly EPs.
Which we're still waiting for again.
I know, we never got to Memoirs. Where is where are all the remixes?
Did we?
No, we didn't get
anything from the Emancipation.
We didn't get Angel's Advocate. That's where it stopped. We got oh my gosh, we got Memoir. Sorry, oh my gosh, we've had a few splashes. Sorry, I'm on vodka and you're on wine. We had Emancipation, we had Einstein. We did not get Memoirs. We didn't get Angel's Advocate or any of those.
Do you think that's why she did? Because if I put out Memoirs EPs, they're gonna ask for Angel's Advocate. I just can't do it, bro.
I think she could have given us some of them. I don't know what happened. And I think also then we got to a point where it's now MC31. And now it's like MC31.5, and then it's Christmas, and it'll be MC32.
Yeah.
But
in fact, it stopped around Christmas, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we got to Christmas. We had the Big Apple special, and then it was like just done. But when we were getting them in the beginning, when we didn't get Everything Fades Away, and I was like, okay, well, that was a B-side, but like, okay, like you, okay, whatever. We didn't get Do You Think of Me, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit weird. When we didn't get Slipping Away, I was like, okay, she's saving them. She is saving them. And I remember, I could look it up on my computer now, but I won't. I remember going on my YouTube channel and saying,
I remember.
Are we about to get a video? Are we about to get an album full of rare and unreleased Mariah songs? Here's my little theory. Here's my theory.
And I wonder how many songs made it on there. Obviously.
Well, then some people got a bit not pissy, but like, oh, just let her announce things. Don't try and like predict or like guess or like burst the bubble. But people do it all the time on Twitter.
Yes,
but
they do. And
people.
annoys me.
But some lambs on Twitter and on Loserbook, Arsbook, Facebook, I'm not a fan. Well, I love.
Go read a book.
I love the groups and I love the lambs, but I'm just not a fan of like the platform per se. But people were like, oh, well, this and that, and there was some detective work going on. So then I did a video predicting the track listing, and then like 5 days later, she confirmed the album. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing well at my unofficial hobby job. I'm predicting albums that she's then announcing. And then the track listing came out, and I think I had like half of it like locked in. I'm like, cool. I was like, I'm so excited. But then when she announced things like Loverboy, the Firecracker version, I kind of wished it, but I never actually like thought, right, okay, do you know what? We need to take a quick break because we're at that time already. But we are going to go through track by track and just tell it how it is.
Yes.
What do we like to play? What don't we like to play? Yes. So we'll be right back after this very quick break.
Hey.
You can get more of me hanging out with Nayth, catching up and geeking out by catching up on our live edition of Lamb vs. Lamb, my Mariah Carey quiz series. Nayth and I had so much fun co-hosting a live quiz together as a live stream on my YouTube channel. If you missed it, don't worry, it's up on my channel and you can catch up and play along. Head over to my YouTube channel and play the quiz. All right, we are back from break, but let's just have a little cheers. We didn't do a cheers in the first section. Cheers, Nayth, darling. Welcome to, honestly, the first ever in-person podcast. Very special episode.
I always forget you don't hold it by the stem when you're drinking red.
Well, actually, no, white by the stem. Actually, it was white if you're really posh. It's by the bottom of the glass. How do you hold a wine glass for red? Isn't it? Well, that's actually not.
Like this.
I think you cup it like a big pair of balls. But that is not a red wine. That's not a red wine glass. That's a white wine glass.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't drink red, so I don't accommodate red wine drinkers. So sorry, you are drinking out of a white wine glass here.
Adam called it something, didn't he?
What? The glass?
No, not a toss. What was it called? Like where it's the shape of the glass. It's called something.
Oh, I don't know. You guys are having your own conversation in
moment.
Away from me. I don't know. Right. Okay. The rarities. We need to go through track by track. So, oh my gosh, it opens with "Here We Go Around Again," which was a cast off from the 1990 sessions for the debut album. I can't name an interview or a magazine like specifically, but I do remember Mariah talking about the song.
Oh, really?
I feel like, yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. Do you remember her referencing it?
Not at all. I mean, I've heard. I've heard.
Heard.
A couple of splashes. I've heard her say like, oh, "Here we go again." But I've never heard her physically mention, oh, I have a song called Here We Go Round Again. And, it should have been on Mariah Carey. But...
I feel like when she's spoken about the demo once or twice, she has referenced
was it on the Genius level thing?
I don't know. Lambs listening, if you can help us out, then let me know. Yeah, Instagram, Hey Lamb Podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment below.
Did you press record?
Yes, I pressed record. Your camera is recording. Don't worry, we're both on camera right now. But yeah, if anyone can point to an interview where she talks about songs that she recorded for or that were on the demo,
I know they spoke
and
about
didn't make it.
Hypnotized,
yeah. I feel like Hypnotized. She definitely mentioned. But I feel like Here We Go Around Again got a mention at some point. Oh. So I wasn't surprised by the title. I was so curious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but do you remember your first reaction, like when you first heard it, and how do you feel about it now?
Mm-hmm. The same. I fucking love it. So I remember I was off work the day it was released, or working late, and I listened to it track by track. I read the lyrics as I went through to every, obviously with like, "Do you think of me?" I didn't, because I knew that already. Everything Fades Away too, and Slipping Away. But with Here We Go Round Again, I obviously didn't know about it. And then the moment I pressed play, I was like, I love it.
It's such a bop.
Second I pressed play, I love it. And then I remember rewinding it back to, which is like, the end of that was iffy. About 6 times. Because I Love it when she speaks in songs.
And we don't get that. That's where it feels like, okay, it wasn't finished. It's more than a demo. It's like she was recording it for like whatever. She didn't have an outro that she was done with. I love it because it's funky. It's a bop. I was like, ooh,
80s.
Jackson 5 vibes. Like, I love it. It really kind of took me by surprise. I feel like actually I think we got a bit of the song in like a teaser before the album came out or something. There was like a little bit, like a
Was it like
snippet.
a trailer for the Rarities?
I think it was a trailer for the Rarities. I was like, oh, there's like...
But it was just the
instrumental or something.
Yeah.
Or the big... Yeah, it was like a little tease. I was like, this is sounding like late 80s, rolling into early 90s. I really love it. And
me too.
It's not one that I skip. I feel like it's dated. It sounds like it's late 80s.
It's dated, but it's a good dated. Like vintage. It's like treasured because it's vintage. Yeah. Which Mariah will hate us saying it's vintage because,
well, it's, vintage, but... Baby Mimi. It's Mariah, written by Mariah and Ben Margulies. So it's way back when. But yeah, it's vintage, but it's a welcome listen. I love it. I don't have it on any actual playlists other than the Rarities one, but I'm always happy to listen to it. It's like fun, upbeat. I'm not bored of it.
I never skip it.
I know, I never skip it. I love the ending, which is like the end of that was iffy. Like, it's cute and it's fun. It's fun.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Oh my gosh. Oh God. Are we doing a point scoring system? For like, okay, just like gut instinct?
Just.
I would give it a very respectable 7.
I would give it 9.
Oh my God. Okay.
The only thing I would add to it would be a whistle, and then that would be 10. But I don't know where I put the whistle. But
well, she can always find somewhere. She does these things.
And we need to hear it live. I want to hear her sing it live, which we'll probably never get. Maybe on the Rarities tour.
Can you imagine if she does little things?
Oh my God.
Little snippets. Right, track 2, Can You Hear Me? Which we did know was kind of teased because, again, that MC30 thing, there was like that thing, that studio session, and the songs were listed. And there was like, Can You Hear Me? It was like listed like track 2,
and
track 3.
And so was Here We Go Round Again. I'm pretty sure.
There's so many teasers, wasn't there? So much was happening. But Can You Hear Me from the Emotions sessions, which reportedly was written by Mariah to then pass on to Barbra Streisand. Which I find interesting. Like, oh, can I hear Babs singing this? Can I imagine Babs?
I'm gonna out myself as a bad gay, so I might have to hand in my membership card.
It's okay. I call you a bad gay all the time because you. What sidebar? What I rinse you for earlier for not having watched? There was a movie. Oh my gosh! Oh, The Devil Wears Prada. This is a gay man who has not seen The Devil Wears Prada. So I already share.
I can't be the only one.
No, but it's not a proud thing to walk about.
I joined the Gen Z crowd with not probably.
Oh my gosh! Okay, right. So I already tease you as a bad gay for having not watched certain movies like The Devil Wears Prada. But you're going to be a bad gay and say something about Barbra Streisand.
I couldn't name one song.
Oh my god!
I don't think I've listened to a song by Barbra Streisand.
Well, she's not.
Is she the one that are in like the Meet the Parents, Meet the Fuckers?
Yes,
films?
As an actress.
Okay.
But she's not your generation. She's not my generation. She's our parents' generation. So that's fair. But knowing that, how revered she is by Mariah, like literally, people go like, oh, Mariah and Whitney. And like, yeah, they were. But like now it's like, it's Mariah and like Barbara. People go like Mariah and Celine. And there's no shade to Celine.
I think she's in her own lane.
But she is. But like in terms of like legacy, and like Barbara can go, here's an album. Here's a tour. That shit's going to sell. Like the standard and the legacy, it's just so huge. And I think, yeah, they are comparable in terms of stature and legacy. And I mean, Mariah's referencing Babs on Caution, Giving Me Life, So it's so like.
And she also, in the Homecoming special, the concert she did at her junior high, she walks into a. Like the detention room, the isolation room. She's like,
memory, like corners of my mind. To see the love that the Mariah's had for Barbara all these years, and we're like, oh, back in 1991, she recorded a song that was meant to be passed on to her. I'm like, wow, this really spans decades. It's genuine. The song grew on me because I listened to it and I'm like, does it belong on Emotions? I don't think it belongs on Emotions. Could it fit in? Yeah, we could maybe make some room for it at the table, but I don't know.
Like, I don't know where I'd put it. Like,
I'm really bad with like sequencing. I can't say, oh, it would go in between track this and track that. It's more like if I think of the collective body of work. But
it's
of
a very,
album,
I think Emotions is very jazzy, late night, you know, with a couple of splashes of red. But
the ballads, like So Blessed and You Don't Remember, I'm like, they are quite middle of the road. They are
maybe in place of Can't Let Go.
Excuse me.
Or somewhere between And You Don't Remember and Can't Let Go.
Can't Let Go is going nowhere. Can't Let Go.
Can't Let Go is We Can't Let Go.
But it doesn't have to replace anything. I mean, there's room on that CD.
Yeah. Well,
Emotions is not a long album. It's got room. It could stay. I could.
She'd replace it with You're So Cold.
Well, okay. You're So Cold. Yeah, she would. Mariah apparently doesn't love that song. So You're So Cold is not. Okay, songs like. I know you love. I'm sorry, but like songs like.
Do not say the P word. If you say the P word.
Songs like Prisoner and You're So Cold.
That hurt.
And To Be Around You.
Yeah.
And I do actually like Now That I Know. But those
I love Now That I Know.
That's the one that I like. But the early ones where she's like having like a bop moment and it's like up tempo, I'm like it's cute and it's fun and we need that change in rhythm in the album. Mm-hmm. But they're not the ones I'm going to go to. So I actually prefer Can You Hear Me over You're So Cold. I do.
But then we don't have the iconic like really low part and
that's fun.
High part.
But as a song overall, I prefer Can You Hear Me. I wouldn't put Can You Hear Me on the Emotions album in place of anything.
As a bonus track.
I would add it. And I do enjoy it. I feel like it's not quite a Mariah song. Like when she said, oh, I wrote it for Barbara, I'm like, okay, cool. But you sang it and it's great to listen to. I don't listen to it as a Mariah Carey song because I feel like she wrote it with someone else in mind. But it's a good song and it's a good vocal. I'm glad we got it.
At first, I was like, I like it, you know, because I'm a sucker for a ballad. But then, like, a couple of months later, I was like, oh, I'm not really keen on it, to be honest. But then I listened to it on the way here and I'm like, I love this. Like, it's a ballad. It's what she's, you know, I know she probably doesn't like it because it's too smoltry, whatever. But I love it when she gets all ballady and...
It's maybe a little bit generic, you know, like with the lyrics. But then actually I reflect and I'm like, no, like I think it's a little bit too early in her narrative because she recorded it in 91. If you take those lyrics... and 93, 94, 95 Mariah sang them. Like, can you hear me? Do you see me?
Yes, he does because he's got intercoms around the house.
But it's like, you know, do you see me? Do you hear my opinion? Like, I'm a valid person. Like, I don't feel like you see me.
She's predicted a lot of her.
Yeah, it's a bit like, ooh, that's like, yeah, that's the bit, you know, okay. Anyway, right. We need to keep the momentum moving forward, avoid too many tangents. Track 3, Do You Think of Me, 1993, the B-side to Dream Lover. I grew up with Do You Think of Me.
Me too.
I played it on the CD single. At the time, I didn't appreciate it as much as like, oh, it's a rare one because it's on the B-side, you know. But I had the CD. I had all of my Mariah CDs. It wasn't rare. In the UK, it wasn't rare because if you collected the CD singles, you had it. Mm-hmm. And we weren't playing MP3s, kids, okay, back in the day. It was, what do you want to listen to? Oh, I'll listen to Dream Lover. And you'll play the CD single and you'll go through the album version and all the remixes. You're like, oh, I want to play Can't Take That Away. And you'll go through that 5-track maxi CD single. We weren't going from like CD to CD, like one track. You put on a CD and you play it.
On one phone.
Oh,
like on one screen.
What even before, literally on a CD player. Like that's how I listened to it. And then you would upload your MP3s onto your iPod or whatever. I always had Do You Think of Me? But then we've moved to digital and that's when it's become rare. Like I don't own a CD player. My computer, my MacBook, doesn't have a CD drive. I don't play discs anywhere. I own DVDs. The last time I
played a CD.
No, I can't remember. I put DVDs into my DVD player very rarely, but CDs never. So Do You Think of Me became rare, and we'll talk about Everything Fades Away in the same vein because it's track 4 as well, because they're both B-sides. I always had them and I know them.
Is Everything Fades Away a B-side?
Yeah, it was a B-side to Hero.
Oh, okay. I only know it's
well, it was the bonus track on the European. Sometimes it's listed as the B-side to Hero, but actually, you're right. I always remember it as the European bonus track because it had that sticker in the bottom right corner of the music box album, all these like gold stars around it.
Yeah,
it says European includes a European bonus track. Everything Fades Away. Do You Think of Me and Everything Fades Away are really firm favourites of mine, and I always loved Everything Fades Away. It is so dreamy and how it literally fades away at the end and fades out. But Do You Think of Me, when the Rarities came out, really, I was like, wow, I kind of snooze on you a little bit. I really love it. How do you feel about Do You Think of Me and Everything Fades Away?
I love Do You Think of Me and Everything Fades Away. Like the first album the two albums I remember owning and holding are Emotions and Music Box. Later then, when they were released, only by a few years though. And Everything Fades Away was a bonus track, obviously, and I loved it. And I remember when YouTube first came about, and I found it on there, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have to listen to the CD. And I remember maybe like getting hold of Everything Fades Away in an illegal way.
We've all been there.
Sorry.
LimeWire, Napster.
And I remember creating my own like fan art for it and Do You Think of Me and things. And I've always loved Everything Fades Away and Do You Think of Me. And there's a part which I don't know if you vaguely remember. I'm like, what does she even say in that part?
I think it was his voice memos on Instagram or something. Yeah. Oh, what was the lyric? I need you so badly.
I need you so badly.
Yeah.
Or something along.
Towards the end of Do You Think of Me, you're like, I never knew that's what she sang. I was like, how did you never know that? Like, but yeah.
But then I remember like listening to Always Been My Baby and like singing, No Way You're Ever Gonna Shag Me. So it's like
at like 8 years old.
Yeah, younger. I remember my mum running in going, what did you say?
What are you singing? There's no way you're ever going to shag me.
And my mum to this day still thinks in I Stay in Love, she says she's going to fart like a whale. Because of Front Like Oh Well. And she was like, did you say she's going to fart like a whale? And I was like, no.
Gosh.
She's saying front like a whale. But anyway, tangent.
Mother Moore. No.
But yeah, Everything Fades Away. Do You Think of Me? I bloody love.
Perfection. We love them. We love them so much. Track 5, All I Live For, from the Music Box Sessions. Now, this for me is a complete travesty that it did not make the Music Box album. All I Live For probably rushed to the front. I mean, if I take away the B-sides, 2 of which we've already mentioned, like we already knew about them. Mm-hmm. Like, and also Loverboy, we already knew about it. Close My Eyes, already had that. Mm-hmm. In terms of everything that is brand new, this is the one that really hit me. I was like, this is a bop. This is like more impressive than Here We Go Round Again and Can You Hear Me? Okay. It really hit me. I was like, I can see Mariah on the Daydream tour with like the whole like Kangol kind of vibe with the hat and like the thin shades and like the jacket off the shoulder.
Just Be Good to Me.
Just Be Good to Me. That kind of outfit, that could have been Mariah doing All I Live For. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish we could have had a music video for it with unseen footage from across the years, or maybe zooming in to the Daydream sessions. She could have dedicated All I Live For to the Lamely, saying, you're all I live for.
Who is she singing it about?
Well, I think it's like she's daydreaming, she's fantasizing. It could have been like this dream lover who's now a fantasy in 95, that kind of, come and take me away, whatever. But All I Live For, I really, really live for it. I love it. It's probably
song.
One of my top 3 on the album.
Okay. I don't know where I put it in like a top.
When I say that, I haven't actually ranked them, but I feel like it's top 3. Definitely top 5.
Yeah, I'd say it's my top 5. I really enjoy it. To me, it's a good song.
Do you remember there was all that chat, and I think Riordan kind of confirmed it that the end of the song was unfinished, and then she laid down those extra little bit of vocals in 2020.
I do,
the very end.
don't
Apparently,
remember.
it's confirmed.
I don't. What part? We'll have to listen to it later on.
I'm not. I can't sing for shit. I can hear it in my head
because I think it sounds very cohesive. I don't think.
Oh, it does. It really
it's
does.
Not like, oh my goodness, that is definitely Mariah now.
It's not obvious, but people have pointed it out, and I'm like, huh. Okay, maybe. And then I think Riordan kind of like confirmed it by liking or retweeting something or reply. I can't remember.
But does that mean she's confirming it?
The way it was worded, I think, I can't remember how it was, but I think it's pretty much confirmed that she finished it off. Because some of these songs, they weren't finished. We are going to take a moment to just refresh, stretch our legs, powder our noses, refill our glasses, whatever we need, and when we come back, we're going to march through the rest of the Rarities track listing.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to Hey Lamb, guys. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are, you can leave me a little tip. You can buy me a drink over on buymeacoffee.com. It is a great way to show your support to your favorite creators by buying them a drink. Simply head over to buymeacoffee.com/heylamb and you can tip me with a little drink. Cheers. Continuing at track 6 on the Rarities, One Night from 1995, the Daydream Sessions. Sorry, kids, the splashes are getting to us. Vodka and red wine here.
Yeah, splashes are becoming splashes.
Splashes are splashes. We've been catching up, having a fabulous festive day. And we didn't have to do this. We could have just kept our festivities to ourselves. We wanted to pop on some lights and microphones and capture the essence of the moment. But so forgive us if we, slur the occasional word this evening. One Night. Are you here for it, Nayth?
I'm here for it, definitely.
I'll pass. I can't really get into it. I appreciate the vibe, but for me, does it belong on Daydream? No. Am I glad I've heard it?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm glad I've heard it, but Daydream ain't broke, so don't fix it.
Exactly.
So you can't fix perfection.
I'm so protective over Daydream. First Mariah album, blah, blah, blah. I've said this 1,000 times. I love it so much. You've got to come in, she'd have to really, rock my world, blow my head off with something like, oh my God, how did you not put that on? And One Night is cute and all, but it is not something that can ever interrupt the track listing of Daydream for me. I like it, but it belongs in the Rarities, not Daydream.
Yeah, I don't think it warrants an official release, as in on an album. But I love if I remember rightly, it's really slow and ballady, and then it's quite
I
pacey.
took a while to kind of adjust to it. I did. I'm happy it's there, but I think it's fine just being on the Rarities. Now, slipping away, track 7, we get this B-side to Always Be My Baby. Again,
never heard it.
We said it before with You Think of Me, Everything Fades Away. I have always known Slipping Away. I love it, love it, love it. I actually could put this on Daydream.
Me too.
I don't know where.
Instead of Daydream Interlude.
No, I know. No, we've had this discussion, Nayth, because there's a narrative.
You don't like Prisoner, so...
Okay, so on the Daydream album, I'm not a massive fan of... Okay, if I have to pick one...
You're going to say an album cut,
I have to pick one song.
Don't say track 8.
Melts Away. It's not No. Actually, no. Long ago.
Out of the two, I prefer Melt Away.
Out of the two.
We can get rid of Long Ago.
I could lose Long Ago. Melt Away can stay. But Daydream Interlude, no, because I've told you that the narrative for me is she's...
Just on a personal note.
She's daydreaming. She's fantasy, dream lover from Music Box. Daydream album. She's still dreaming about her dream lover.
Do you think that was coincidental?
And it's a fact. No.
Or do you think it was done on purpose?
No,
we had dream lovers.
She said at one point, like, I kept singing, like, dream lover, come rescue me. I'm fantasizing, like, come and get me the fuck out of here. Like, it's that kind of, not quite those words. But there's been, but then there's been things, she's always, like, yearning or, like, dreaming or wishing for more.
Oh.
So, Music Box, she is dreaming of her dream lover. Daydream, she's still fantasizing, but she's now aware, like, it's just a dream. It's not going to happen. It's a dream. And I wish I fantasize, you come and, you know, take me away, dream lover. But it's a fantasy. I'm with my boyfriend. My mind's like, well, underneath the stars, with this or that. Open arms, come to me. Sidebar, someone's popped their clogs one sweet day. That's sad. And then I am, you know, there's a few twists in the narrative. But you get to Daydream Interlude, and then especially because the beat changes and the pace changes, that's her waking up. She's like, it's just
and
sweet.
then she starts singing about semen.
It's just a sweet fantasy.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the album, Daydream Interlude, she wakes up and she realizes.
So the whole album is a daydream.
Kind of like a.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when you're dreaming, but you know you're dreaming, and you just enjoy the dream.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's like, I'm dreaming, and I know it's a dream, but I'm gonna ride and have some fun with it, whatever. But then Daydream Interlude is her waking up, and then looking in is like the stone cold sober. I am awake and this is my life. That was a dream and I knew I was dreaming and that was like...
So you've made it even sadder.
But I love it because it's sad. I love it because it's sad. And Slipping Away, I think, kind of slips in. By the way, very quick sidebar, but shout out to Gia. Gia Paro, because Gia and a few of us joked that she should start an OnlyFans, but call it Only Lambs. And she should replicate different... Mariah videos, like Honey, just do Honey. Just do like a filthy version of Honey.
With actual semen.
With actual semen, whatever. But they were having fun with how can you change Mariah songs. It's like RuPaul likes to do dirty charades. So we were doing this with Mariah songs and we were on Instagram Live coming up with some absolute bangers. But the best Cream Lover, all of these. But the best one, Slipping Away, became Slipping Inside, and it just absolutely sent me. And I always think, every time I get to Slipping Away, I just think of Gia and Slipping Inside. Gia's B-side. I love Slipping Away. I think we needed it on an album. It was so overdue. I wish it could have been a single.
I wonder why it's so revered in the Lamely. Why isn't Do You Think of Me and Everything Fades Away not...
Yeah, Slipping Away is like
esteem.
Like the one, isn't it? Slipping Away is the one. It is one.
Like, I think there would have been a riot had Slipping Away not have been on the Rarities.
I think maybe a starting point for this album really was, okay, I've got Do You Think of Me, Everything Fades Away, and Slipping Away. I've got 3 B-sides
and the
here.
Loverboy thing.
And then I've got the whole Loverboy thing. And then I've got these other... I can see how it's not like, oh, it's just B-sides. Oh, it's just unreleased. It's like a mixture of everything. But those 3 B-sides, what a strong foundation. Because you know how popular Slipping Away is. We need that. Right, we need to march forward. Okay, the next one, Out Here on My Own, which was intended for glitter. You and I listened to this for the first time on camera a year ago. I'm still, like, not over it. I still play it all the freaking time.
And it hits me different every single time.
Oh my God, I've actually sat and cried. I'll say this.
Really?
I've sat and cried listening to it, yeah. Well, because we had... Okay,
It's very relatable in many senses.
I'm going to say something. As Trixie Mattel says, I'm going to be brave and vulnerable. Oh no, she says brave. I'm going to say something brave and controversial, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to say something brave and vulnerable. No, because like honestly, last year, like what a fucking year. And you know, I live here by myself on the South Coast, and I've been cut off from family, and I, you know, didn't spend like time with friends. That you know, I wanted to be safe to then go home for Christmas, which then got cancelled. All this stuff. I went like 3 months where I didn't go on site at work. I didn't go and see friends. It was all FaceTime, phone calls, and this is like as the Rarities have been out for like a year or two, and I just sat one night and I was like just feeling myself. You know, sometimes you need like a little cry or whatever.
Eggs, amen.
And I had like a splash of wine or whatever it was, vodka that night, whatever, a splosh, and and I was playing the Rarities out here on my own, and I was like, oh, I just feel so sad. I'm out here on my own, on my sofa by myself. I wasn't like feeling sorry for myself, but I kind of was. And I just really like felt that song. And the vocal, it's so raw, it's so emotional, and I was living that song in that moment.
It's so raw, but it's not... When I think of a raw track, like a raw vocal, like I see it as being like really gritty and like off notes and
this is still polished.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound polished. Like you can't be like, oh, that was definitely a bad note, but
There's an honesty to it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love at the very, very end, she goes slightly lower, like an octave, I think, lower. I'm just trying to be technical. Like an octave lower. And it's like... the whole song is just satisfying.
Yeah.
And it's just... Isn't it just piano and vocal? There's no backing vocals.
It's very simple. It's very simple. There's no backing. And when you listen to the original, it is quite modest. It's not like a vocal, like, oh, look at all the notes I can hear. Like, it's not a lead the way.
No.
Lead the way
Has she had another lead the way, though? Like,
but lead the way is vocal and piano, and it draws you in, but it's like, whoa, we're going all over the place. Out Here on My Own, it feels like so intimate and so private. And the fact that she sat on that recording for 20 years blows my mind, because that for me is straight up like I think I've ranked my favorite covers on my channel. I have. I forget what content I've done, but I'm pretty sure Out Here on My Own ranked number 2 or 3. I know. I think my favorite was I Still Believe. I've always loved I Still Believe.
I think Out Here on My Own beats I Still Believe. To me, just
well, a year on, I actually might rank them the other way around. But I think it was like roughly a year ago I made this video. And I think it's right up there. It went straight up now. I thought, well, it's new. There's a novelty, so it's top. But it's just so good. It's such a good song, and I can't get over the fact she sat on it for 2 decades.
Just carrying on with casual life, like taking a dog for a walk, releasing albums here and there, and like how she didn't come out of the studio and was like, this needs to go on glitter. Like how she just was like, just put it in the vault.
And I wonder
what other songs were in the vault. Like
we'll get to that later. But I wonder, like, how, particularly that song, specifically that song. I wonder how long it had been since she listened to that, or some of these. But we know. I mean, Here We Go Around Again. I feel like it's the demo she like knew about it. Or she always often thought about it, but Out Here on My Own. I don't know, there's certain songs I'm like, how, when you put this out for the Rarities in 2020, when did you last listen to it?
Yeah.
Did you know?
Do you think she listened to it in like 2018? She's like,
I know what I'm going to do in 2 years.
Yeah.
Or did she, create this album, the Rarities, and go, what have I got? Oh, I can't remember what that sounds like. Oh my God, I recorded that like 20 years ago. Let's give it a listen. Yeah, okay. Oh, I quite like that. Did she, I love it.
Are we expecting a part 2?
Well,
we'll get
that
discussion.
I'm gonna say this. This podcast is gonna be. I'm gonna call it slightly overtime. Yeah. It's not overtime. It's just extended. Exactly. I've only had one other podcast that's gone over an hour, and that was with said Gia and Gareth. And we did.
I'm glad to join the extended.
It should have been a single because there's plenty to say about it. It should have been a single.
Yes.
And this one
would be a great podcast.
Which
I would love to join.
we've got just a few minutes left, but we've still got songs and much more to discuss. So this will go over an hour, but we just need to flesh it out. But it is what it is. Track 9, Loverboy, Firecracker, original version.
I think this could be a whole podcast.
Well, I think I've done a couple of glitter podcasts with Taz, but when she announced this, I was like, "Fuck yes!" Without even hearing it, I was like, "It's a political statement."
Mm-hmm. But when I say that it could be a whole podcast just on its own, I don't mean because it's such an amazing song.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do prefer the
originals
we've got.
Yeah,
not the original. The
actual version.
The actual original.
The candy version. Yeah. Me too.
I don't really. It just feels like something's missing, and I can't put my finger on it. Like it feels like a demo.
It feels a bit
like she got halfway through and was like,
sparser.
shit, that fucking woman has done this. And it feels disjointed.
I've said before that I feel like the Firecracker version, the chorus is not instantly... No, sorry, the chorus is more accessible. You can find the beat, you can hear the lyrics easier. The Candy version with Cameo, I actually prefer. It's a really funky beat, and the sample is heavy. It's a prominent sample. You have to let it do its thing. You have to let it shine.
It's like she's going, you didn't get this sample.
Yeah. But it's harder to latch on to the lyrics and the chorus, and it is more breathy.
It sounds busy.
It is. I feel like possibly if this Firecracker version had been released, could it have been more successful? I don't know. I just have a little thing in my head. I don't think it's as funky.
Because it got to number 2 over here,
the chorus is catchier. In America, it was number 2. I thought
it was really high over here.
Maybe it was. I can't remember. But if you think of choruses like Fantasy and Dream Lover and Heartbreaker and Honey, you have to be able to hum along or sing along or pretend you can try and sing along with Mariah. Loverboy didn't really give you that opportunity. It wasn't a sing along chorus.
And the ones we do have are, I think, more singable.
Yeah.
Just under your breath, no.
Yeah. I'm so glad she released it because, we all knew what happened with it. And
do you think it's because of what happened with the Loverboy, the Firecracker version, is the reason why she's so secretive and overprotective? No, she's not overprotective at all. She is protective of it because they're her babies. But do you think that's why she's so protective over her projects now?
Yeah. I think there's been other things as well. She kind of... who was reminding me? I think, was it Brandon saying about with Me I Am rollout, she had a visual aesthetic or something visual, and that motif, that idea was stolen or used by someone else. I think there's been a few
beginning
things.
with a B and ending in Beyonce.
Well, but then I'm like, what did she release around that time? I think there's been a couple of moments where
Beyonce album. That was so Beyonce has an album called Beyonce, and it's literally just black background and Beyonce, and I think it's purple. And she released that around the time of Me I Am.
I don't know. I think it's got to be more than just it's got to be a specific idea or an aesthetic or a sound or a sample, with Loverboy. I think there's been a few things where Mariah has spoken to too many people, even producers, not even forget media, forget fans, forget lambs. This producer, that producer, and she overshares, or even a photographer, here's an idea for the shoot. Or something, and then things spread, things leak. And I think she's kind of intimated more than a couple of times. Oh, well, you think something, you say something, and that's okay. That's how her front cover of her album looks now. Huh? Okay. That's interesting. Oh, and it's shot by that photographer who works with that photographer who has. Okay, cool, cute. So let's do this. I think it's been things like that. Or I think there's plenty she could tell, and I wish we got more of those things in the memoir. But she's been quite tasteful, and I don't think she wants to drag anyone under the bus.
I don't think she's petty, and she only lashes out when she needs to, with the whole Eminem Sweet rapper thing. She did Clown because he did something.
Oh, that needed. Obsessed needed.
Because he did something. And
we needed All That Glitters in the memoir.
And she says something in an interview in the Rainbow era, and the interviewer's like, I think it's with Andy Peters, Madonna doesn't like you, and she knows you don't like her. No, Madonna doesn't like you, you know that. She's like, basically, Mariah goes, I don't care, something along those lines. Can't remember what I was getting at.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I think she's not said as much as she could, and even with Tommy in the memoir, quick sidebar here, but she never dragged him. She said in interviews, I could have said a lot more. I could have said a lot worse.
She doesn't really badmouth anybody in the memoir.
She doesn't, and we know who she's talking about in All That Glitters section of the memoir with an entertainer, not a singer, an entertainer. And I love her choice of words. And at the end, sorry, knock the camera again. At the end, she's like, "Oh, and I'm real," and all this, and it's it's so good. And I'm like, you needed tell your side of it. And I think it was a political moment. And, you know, let's not forget the memoir and the Rarities were like back-to-back releases. So we are reading all the glitter section of the memoir and we're spinning the firecracker version of Loverboy. And I'm like, bitch, fuck yes. Yes. This is what I wanted to know and what I wanted to hear. I prefer the Candy version that we got in 2001, but I'm so happy we get to hear her originally intended version. Like, she put her work into that. It's her sample selection, her creativity, and she's sharing her frustrations in the book. I'm like, yeah, talk about the work you did, talk about how you're pissed off, and how you have to change it, and we can then go, yeah, there's the original version of the song, and then there's the version that got released and we've lived with for, 20 years. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Why not?
Was Loverboy, the firecracker version, finished, wrapped, ready for the album?
Yeah, it was good to go.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
Because I thought maybe we should give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this was the demo version.
No, I think this was actually like finished and done. Is mine. Again, Lamb's listening, watching. Like, let me know if I'm incorrect. Let me know.
I remember something. There's a video. Some thing about the glitter hospitalization thing, where she says one of the interviewers are like, she'd secured a sample, she'd wrapped a song or something, so maybe I think it was probably done.
Well, let's move on because we've got a few more, but we love a tangent. Track 10, I Pray, 2005. So that was a song that, did she write it for that kid on Oprah? Like, I don't know, like I can't remember if she wrote it specifically for like this Oprah moment or whether she's like, oh, I've got this song that I can use for Oprah or like whatever. Well, transitioned, and I forget her name now. Apologies, it's in the liner notes, but I don't have it in front of me right this second, kids. I'm so sorry. And I've got one hand on the camera,
who bought you this
and one hand on one. Actually, yeah, thanks. I've got it over there in the corner. Nayth actually gifted me my physical copy. Oh, excuse me, I never coughed on the pod before. You gifted me my physical copy, so thank you so much. I won't annoy everyone watching and listening by trundling over and banging about and getting it. It's over there in the corner of the room. I pray
in
now.
In the corner.
In my Mariah corner. Where I film my YouTube, like everything, it's there underneath the memoir, underneath my Treacle Tots box, underneath the vine. It's all there in that corner. But I was low-key a little bit disappointed.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Because it kind of just, I was like, it doesn't, it doesn't really go anywhere. Like,
I think it's pure. The thing I like about it is that it's pure and it touches upon, it's very, I think she put it on there because of what was happening in a country that's very close to her heart. And that's why she put it on there. Like, give wisdom to the ones who lead us. I think that was the whole like Trump thing. I think that's why she put it on.
I think she felt like it was relevant again in like a new way.
Love it. I honestly love it. It's in my top 10.
I do like it. What
of Mariah songs?
Oh my god!
Like, I really like it, but I think that's because I come from I wouldn't say I come from a religious background, but I come from we went to church during my teens, and that kind of allows me to explore that part of my life comfortably because of Mariah. Like, her whole I see I Pray in the same vein as like Make It Happen and I Wish You Well and Fly Like a Bird. I would lump those two in like a gospel-y album type thing. My Saving Grace and
she has got I could maybe put it on like a little playlist of those songs.
And every album has a gospel thing from Charm Bracelet.
There's something about it where I'm like, it almost like it builds to like almost like a fake crescendo. It's not a fake crescendo, like an anti crescendo. Like it's the whole. I can't replicate it. But she like goes up and then it's like dun, 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 and it comes back down again. I'm like, oh, it doesn't really go anywhere. Like it's cute, but it does kind of feel like a demo.
It's very nice to belt out in a kitchen. While you're cooking.
Well, there you go. There you go, kids. You heard it from Nayth. Belt it out in the kitchen. What else can I say about iPad? Oh, it gives me Christmas vibes.
Yes.
Something about it. I'm like, it kind of sneaks onto my Christmas, little playlist of Mariah's.
A few little jingle bells in there wouldn't have gone amiss.
Not jingle bells. I think it's just because it's got that kind of religious aspect.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'd put it, alongside maybe like One Child.
Yeah.
Or something like somewhere around One Child. I'll slip it in.
I'm glad we didn't get a Christmas song on the Rarities, like from the vault, because I'm sure she's released like she's re-recorded Away in a Manger and.
But I would say sit on that shit, sit on that, and then release it because now we've got
a whole
Christmas
album
specials.
for the Rarities Christmas version.
The Rarities Christmas collection. Can you imagine?
That would jingle my bell.
Right, Cool on You, which she was calling. There was always this song rumored called Kick Rocks or Kid Rocks. And we were like, what? But she never really had a name for it. I think again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is one where she didn't actually have a song, like a song title. It was, Kick Rocks. And we're like, Kid Rocks? Kick Rock? What's she saying?
Yeah.
And then I felt like she titled it for the Rarities. Got to come up with a name. What are we going to call it?
It's a bit like the title track for Music Box.
Yeah.
They didn't have a name for the song, so they used the name of the keyboard.
Yeah. Like the effect, yeah. So I feel like this was always called Kick Rocks, and we knew there was a song in her repertoire, in her vault, called Kick Rocks or Kid Rocks. We weren't sure what it was, and then Cool on You comes out. We listen to the lyrics. I'm like, okay. For me,
what does it even mean, Kick Rocks?
Like go and eat dirt, kick rocks, eat dust, like whatever. Like go and do something, like go and play in traffic. We say in England, go and play in traffic. Go and entertain yourself doing something stupid and hurtful. So for me, I put this in the same bracket as One Night. Like, cute to hear. Totally understand why it didn't make an album. Like, this was recorded 2007 after Emancipation. In anticipation of E equals, it's not strong enough for either. The anticipation of Mimi Strikes Back. It's not strong enough for either album, in my opinion. And you have to do this. The thing is, she's being brave, releasing these songs that weren't quote good enough for an album. So they're not going to be stone groove smash hit wonders because they didn't make the albums. So I'm like, Cool on You. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm cool on you. Cool on you. I'm not hot for you, and I'm not gonna like throw you in the bin. But
it's like spin pin or bin.
But it is like, yeah, it's cute, it's cool, but I don't love it, and I don't know. I would put it on E equals. How do you feel?
No, I definitely don't think it's good enough for E equals. However, I like the song. I wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, I really want to listen to Cool on You right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it might pop in my head and be like, oh, Alexa, play Cool on You.
I never do that. I never like go to it. In fact, if I'm shuffling, I'm like, I've only got like 15 minutes and I'm shuffling this album.
Oh, that's a different question.
And then it comes on, it will be one of like, yeah, not right now. I don't know. Do you know what? I've not done this before, but we're going to take one more final break because I'm looking at Nayth's empty wine glass, and I've got like a quarter of a drink left. I've got room for a refill though.
Yes.
So we'll have a little refill.
And we've got to do our live performances as well.
Performances. Right, we've got 4 more tracks to talk about. Plus, when we come back, after we've covered those 4 tracks, we will do Spin, Pin or Bin based on the Rarities. Yay. It has to be done. So let's refresh our drinks and we'll be right back.
Yes. That is really good.
So we're back and we've just refreshed. Nayth is moving off of red wine and you're joining me on raspberry vodka. And
however,
you like?
I've been on vodka all afternoon, and then I went to red.
Yeah,
had
you
half a
did.
bottle of red.
Yeah.
And now back on raspberry vodka, which doesn't taste like alcohol at all.
Welcome back. Well, we cleared a litre of vodka. Not you and I.
No.
We had those strapping young men over earlier.
Third.
By the way, if you hear like random noises, those listening, like this table, we lean on it. It won't do it now. But we get occasional kind of like creak or fart sounds every so often. It's this wooden table.
It's either that or me.
It's either the table or Nayth. But it's not me. Right, okay, let's carry on. Track 12, Mesmerized, from 2012. Originally recorded for that movie soundtrack, the Paperboy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who was in the Paperboy. Oh.
I want to say Zac Efron.
Okay.
Efron.
Let me see if I can pull it up. What do you think about Mesmerized? Oh, you're right. Oh, Zac Efron with a big arm. Okay, hello.
A big arm? What?
An American crime drama film. Oh, co-written and directed by Lee Daniels. Yeah, there we go. So I've never... Oh, and Nicole... excuse me, Matthew McConaughey, Zac Efron, and Nicole Kidman. And Macy Gray. How have I never watched this?
If I remember rightly, I think Zac Efron, whatever, and Nicole Kidman are lovers.
Well, they're in a car together. But you know what? Something it looks like it was a flop. Apparently the budget was 12.5 million, but it only made 4 million at the box office. So it lost money. Okay, well, I'm going to leave this little tab on my iPad open because this sounds a little bit sexy. I'll have to check that out. But back to the song, Mesmerized. I'll be honest, this is the one I could cut. I just can't get into it. It's okay. My 3-week ones are Mesmerized, Cool on You, and One Night. And out of all of them, I think Mesmerized would be bottom of the pile.
I agree.
Oh, okay. Well, let's cheers to that.
Cheers.
Full vodkas. We'll cheers to that. I hope we get the click on the microphone. Let's try that again. There we go.
It was more of a clunk.
Clunks and sploshes.
Clunk and sploshes.
So why did you feel that way about Mesmerized?
I don't know. I think it was such a dead... I don't know.
It takes like...
This really kills me to say because it's Mariah.
Go ahead.
I love Mariah.
It's a safe space, Nate. You speak your truth.
It's
just between you, me, and the listeners.
And a few thousand.
I wish. It's not that popular, the podcast. Not yet.
I love Mariah. She cannot do any wrong, but I'm real, right? It just seems like a space filler.
Yeah, I got what you mean.
Like, it doesn't belong on an album. I can't imagine it being on Memoirs, which was the album before that. And I can't see it being on Me I Am, because Me I Am is a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
I don't see it being on any
So, like,
album.
where was it going to go? Where was it intended?
So, it does sound like a throwaway song where she's like, do you know what? I need to write this song for the Paperboy. Let's just write one. Let's think of a word.
So you don't think it was left over from another project? You think it was specifically they want a song and
it's like they sat down and was like, let's think. I'm a one-word title queen. Mesmerized.
I can't without seeing the movie. I can't comment. Like I don't know whether it would fit
from
the
what
movie.
it's not in the film.
But it was intended and it wasn't used. Guys watching
and we can see why.
If you're watching the YouTube version, bear with. I'm so sorry. During the splash break, I actually forgot to powder my nose. So I'm listening very intently to Nayth's very valid opinions on Mesmerized.
Am I shiny? Do I need to
I've just caught I have such a square forehead and I catch shine and a little shine on the nose there. So I'm just taking care of things while we... we do these things. If Mariah can have a little touch up on
exactly,
stage,
I feel like I should have one.
I'll have a little touch up on camera. I've not done this. I've never done this on the channel or the pod, but these things happen, and we have to take care of them.
I think you did it on Book Club.
Well, Book Club was like 3 hours a session.
Okay, fair
Book Club was a moment.
But Mesmerized, I do think it was a throwaway, like, I need to write a song, let's write a song, Mesmerized. Because it just sounds like, forgive me, I hope Mariah doesn't hear this. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. Just feels like noise. There, I said it.
It's cute. It's cute. I mean, look, like you said, some tracks are going to be fillers sometimes.
I think that's a filler. Like, oh, we need another track for the Rarities. Do you know what? Fuck it.
Bit.
Let's just put Mesmerise.
Little bit.
It doesn't mesmerise me.
And let's leave it there.
I'm sorry.
13, Lullaby of Birdland live. Now, I understood that the Elusive Chanteuse, originally it was going to be titled The Art of Letting Go.
Mm-hmm.
The album artwork was leaked, which ended up being that close-up shot, like really like kind of moody, not smiley, you know. That deluxe version was the original album cover. And The Art of Letting Go was the title. And I think she was leaning into disco and jazz, because we had disco moments like You Don't Know What to Do.
I love that song.
And I do.
The thing is, Me I Am isn't a bad album.
It's not a bad album, and that's
it just
a
has
whole.
some really like I don't know. That's
it kind of goes like all
Noise.
over the place. I like Money. I don't like Supernatural with the kids, but
the ending goes on a bit too much.
It's a bit all over the place.
It's cute.
But Lullaby
Faded.
Birdland, Faded is so good.
It gets me in the feels every time.
Camouflage, I will always defend Camouflage.
Cry.
As an album opener, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lullaby of Birdland, I believe, was intended for that album. So she included a live version, but I'm kind of wondering, is there a studio version, or was there intended to be? Yeah, because she does covers. She does and she did One More Try, which was like way overproduced, but still great.
Yeah, but I do love One More Try.
I do wonder if Lullaby of Birdland was intended to be on. I do believe. I don't know, but I believe Lullaby of Birdland was intended to be. I still believe it was intended to be on The Art of Letting Go, and then The Art of Letting Go metamorphosized into The Elusive Chanteuse with a different track listing
and the whole dictionary of a title.
Like, why was she singing Lullaby Birdland randomly in 2014? It's at the forefront of her mind. She had been rehearsing it, singing it, recording it.
But then why did she sing
whatever.
Just Be Good to Me in the Tokyo Dome?
Yeah,
because I think that's really random.
That is random. You're right. That is random. But when she said about Lullaby Birdland, like she used to sing it, in
I'm a chanteuse on the stage
in her lingerie on a piano at 14. Appropriate? No, but it's
Not
me.
really.
I think it really is her connecting back with her childhood. We got the whole on the back of this album cover, which I really cringe at that bit. But that whole at the back of this album.
I love that whole.
No, I can't.
Track.
No, I can't. It really bugs me. No.
Oh my god!
No, I can't.
Why?
On the back cover of this album, it's overspoken, and I cringe. I can't ever listen to that. I'm like,
come on, she was only 3.5.
3.5. I'm like, nope, I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I think the album.
The whole day tomorrow, I need you to speak like that because that is hilarious. When you order the dinner, you need to say that.
I'm gonna have. I think the album is a bit hodgepodge, and I think some of that comes down to it's very contrived. It's a bit contrived. It's a bit I don't know. Lullaby Birdland. Let's get to the actual song. I love what she's done with it, and I'm like, yes, Mariah, give us jazz, give us an album. She could redo The Wind. She could take something like Circles and jazz it up. She could do Lullaby of Birdland. What?
The whole on the back cover of the album.
That's what she says. That's what she says.
Keep playing it over and over. I can't. I'm really hot.
I would love for her to do more in this vein because she is riffing and scatting and just it's so pleasing to my ear.
So it's jazzy. I see the Emotions album as a bit of a jazzy album.
Yeah.
Very late night, smoky club.
Oh my god!
Thing.
Yeah.
Could Lullaby Birdland fit on Emotions?
I've never thought about that. That's a very good thought. It could.
Just going out there into the wind.
I would love for her to take all of these songs and put them together. I think for Lullaby of Birdland kind of
imagine 91 Mariah singing that.
Oh, but I'm happy enough hearing 2014 Mariah singing it.
Me too. I love it. Top 10 of Mariah songs.
Oh my god! So you got
love it.
2 top 10s
At
from the
first, I
Rarities.
didn't like it. I was like, nope, skip, don't like it. And I listened to the whole thing, but I was like, no, I'm probably not going to listen to that song again. But sometimes when I'm home alone and feeling like I'm on a good vocal day, I am like, Alexa, play Lullaby Birdland 2014. And
I've
I'm
had
like,
enough vocal rest. I'm ready. Let's play it. Okay. I do love it, and I love the fact that we've got a live performance. Like, it's not a B-side. It's not an unreleased thing. It's a live moment. But like I said, I do wonder if it was intended.
From all of the... I suppose we did have Just to Be Good to Me on the live album, but
we got one, disc 1, disc 2, yeah.
Why that specific performance and what
we don't know where. I don't know. Anyone watching or listening, if you know which concert it was recorded at, then please do let us know.
Either in Asia or Australia.
Right. Track 14, Save the Day, and the way it was billed with Miss Lauryn Hill, not featuring, it's not a sample, it's like with her. And, Lauryn Hill's not lent any new vocals to it. Mariah's there singing on top of. But I felt that, like, that was very respectful.
Yeah, I think
like
so too.
with. And I felt like that it's little things, it's little decisions, it's these small moments. And I think, I remember Lambs getting like mad on Twitter, like, why isn't Lauren promoting it? She doesn't retweet it. I was like,
she doesn't do social media, does she?
She doesn't do social media, and I can't remember the details, but she went through like some stuff that year, like her personal life. There was some stuff going on.
What year?
2020, when this came out. There was stuff going on.
Didn't she get released from prison?
Something was going on. I don't know what was happening, so I can't comment. But it was like, this is like, let's just be grateful that, like, legally, like publishing wise, like whatever, Mariah is allowed to release this, because this is a song that she worked on back in, what was it, like 2007 or 8. It was intended to be like a charity single, and Jermaine Dupri tweeted about it. We're going to get Alicia Keys, we're going to get Mary J, we're going to get maybe R. Kelly, like all these people, whatever, so I just swore. But get these people together. It was going to be like this kind of like charity single type vibe, and it got benched. And all these years later, she is doing her thing with it, and I do think she like re-recorded or recorded. We have the same verse twice, right? So we have the same verse again. But I think she pulled it out of the bag, and she got the permission. But Lauryn Hill doesn't have to promote it and do all this.
To me, she's just a back-end vocalist.
It's kind of it's a sample, but Mariah has respected that it's so prominent, and it's not just it's a sample, like it's an instrumental sample. It's another artist. It's another artist's iconic vocal from a very, very famous song. So she wants to give that justice and say with, not featuring, with.
I think it's very prominent, just as prominent as it is on. Just as prominent as Butterfly is on Runway.
Yeah, there's no escaping it.
Yeah. I love Save the Day. And when I think I've spoken to you, spoken about it to you, but during lockdown, we all had time to do things that we didn't get a chance to do because of work, and life gets in the way. And I was going through my, I guess you could say, vault of songs that I've written, and I came across a song idea that I had and a couple of like a verse for Save the Day. So I wrote it, and then Mariah releases Save the Day, and I'm like, well, I can never publish that because people will be like, I was copied Mariah, but I didn't. Mariah copied me. But I really like the song. And I think that I'm gutted that the music video got deleted from YouTube. Didn't get deleted, it got removed.
I love the fact that she recorded a video, during the pandemic, because it's like iconic. It was the mask, and she documented it, and it incorporates like, was it like a tennis open or something? So I feel like it was, because it never appeared on her channel. It was on this other channel, I believe. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was on a channel, and it was obviously like a limited time deal or something, and then it got taken down from that channel. And I was like, and people were like, lost their shit. And I'm like, well, give it like a month or two. Or maybe it's like give it a year, and then when a certain amount of time transpires, she's allowed to then release it for herself. And I'm thinking, well, are we going to wait another like 10 years and get the Rarities too? And they were like, well, here's here's the video for Save the Day that existed on YouTube for like 4 months
10 years
in
ago,
2020. Yeah, like here's that pandemic video that was on YouTube for 4 months. But for the song itself,
and it had some beautiful.
Oh, she looked great in the video. She looked great in the video.
Curly hair. I want her to bring Curly Riot back.
She knows that the lambs love it when we have Curly Riot. For the song itself, I do like it. I do like it. Too. There's the one bit where they go into the whole Lauryn Hill bit, like on the bridge or whatever, the middle A, and they come back, and it just kind of like there's a little bit of a discord for me. It always like kind of catches. I'm like, I'll play it for you off camera, but I'm always like, oh, that bit kind of annoys me a little bit. It doesn't quite like sync up. It's like you're in a vibe. It goes from Save the Day into the Lauryn Hill moment.
Yeah.
And that works. And we go
when she's riffing on out
back into Save the Day for the last few. And I was like, oh, that it's like it's like if the treadmill changes speed and you're not quite with it, you have to like catch up a little bit. It feels a little bit like that. I don't explain it very well. Apologies. But in the interest of time and the length of this episode, let's move on to the final track, Close My Eyes, Acoustic. Now, when I first learned, okay, here's how I knew this was going to be on. She performed Close My Eyes on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
And I reacted to it on my YouTube channel. And it was fine. It was on my channel. It was fine. Then, out of nowhere, it got blocked. And they tell you what's been identified. And they said, oh, Close My Eyes, brackets, 2020. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay, well, for me, Close My Eyes, 2020 is going to be on the Rarities. Because it's the same vocal. It's going to be the same, it's the same thing. She's not like re-recorded it. It's that performance. I was like, it's got to be, because the algorithm, it picks it up. It recognizes it. It's like someone's listening. Big Brother's listening. And I was like, well, it was fine on my channel. But now they've uploaded or told YouTube what this track sounds like. So now my video is being flagged as featuring that song. Well, 2 days ago, it was fine. Yeah. But now it's been identified as Close My Eyes by Mariah Carey, 2020 version. So I was like, that's going on the Rarities. Yeah. That's what's going to go on. So, then I was mad at the whole thing in principle because I thought, before I heard it, I was like, we don't need Close My Eyes, Mariah. I get it. Like, the Rarities and the memoir are hand in hand. And she spoke about Out Here on My Own, and then we get it. She speaks about Loverboy, Firecracker version, and then we get it. So I was like, you talk about Close My Eyes and, writing it across, all these years. But we know Close My Eyes. And also, it's such a like beautiful, perfect song. Like, please don't touch it. Please don't mess it up. It's that kind of thing. Yeah. And then I heard it and I'm like, just shut me up. Like, just literally shut me the fuck up. Because it is beautiful. And why not? If you want to close it. The only reason I was mad, and it's not because I didn't think it was worth it. Sorry. I just want to say, there's only a certain number of spots on a CD. So let's say there's 15 spots and you want to give one to Loverboy. Well, we already know that song. And you want to give one to, Do You Think of Me? Everything Fades Away, Slipping Away. I already know those songs. There's already 4 spots gone. Then you go and give another spot away to Close My Eyes. And I'm like, I already know that song. I already have that song. So that's what I was coming from in like a selfish way. But then we got it. Agree. And I am happy we got it.
I see the Close My Eyes. Is it labelled Acoustic?
Close My Eyes Acoustic 2020, I believe.
So I see that in the same vein as I see the We Run Together and Valentine.
Yeah, Mimi's Late Night Valentine.
I see it in the same vein as that. Like, We Run Together, track 2 from the Emancipation of Mimi, is stellar.
Is essential. Always.
The remix is amazing. The remixes are amazing. Yeah. Close My Eyes on Butterfly, track 7, I believe, is amazing. It's, we know that she started writing it straight after the Proctor's Theatre, and then finished it for the Butterfly album. it's a beautiful song, and just on a personal note, I relate to it, you know, in a different way than she wrote it. But I don't see her. I think it does go on there, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful song. You can't make it more beautiful, but it kind of enhances the whole thing.
It was a brave choice
Yeah.
to kind of go back to it.
Yeah.
I'm
To
like,
a time when she was in her prime as well.
how can you like re-record anything from Butterfly? But I think it was like an experiment.
And why
And
that
then
and not Outside?
People
Or
say
Butterfly?
that. I don't think she should. I really don't think she should touch either of those songs.
Yeah.
I'm too, because they're okay. So like, Daydream, Always Be My Baby, and she did it for the Runaway Bunny, and they've got this like sweet lullaby version. I'm like, that is so fucking genius, because you're not trying to hit at the end or like the big notes, but like I don't need that. We've got that version. This is a lullaby
Sleep time.
bedtime. It's on my bedtime playlist, which is called Drift, by the way, because of course my bedtime playlist.
It's not called Slipping Away.
Drift. No, I got one called Slipping Inside for like sex.
Tuck My Body is the lead single. And Bliss.
But Always Be My Baby, the lullaby versions, I refer to it. I love that because I was like, it's such a classic. Don't touch it. But actually, you did, and I'm here for it. I really, really love that. And Close My Eyes. Yeah, and that whistle at the end, it's beautiful, and I feel like there's more to come. I feel like she has re-recorded and done other things that we haven't, because she said something on Twitter Spaces where I've done this thing, I re-recorded, I've done something, and it's like a 9-minute version, and it's not We Belong Together. It's separate to that. So, because We Belong Together was like 7 minutes, and
I really hope it's not Always Be My Baby.
It's like, well, she's just done that with. Right. There's a fly in here. We've got the lights on, the lamps on, and there's like flies coming in from off the water.
I really hope she doesn't do Always Be My Baby, because it's a good song. I love the song, but it's a bit like what we were saying earlier. Like, that's nice. Like every time it comes on, it's like, oh, she's singing Always Be My Baby again. That's nice. It's like, can you maybe take Always Be My Baby off and add something different that we haven't heard in a while?
No, I was in that space, and I've kind of come around.
Yeah.
But
it's a classic song. I like it, but we don't need to hear it on every set list.
No. Okay, we have over the past 90 minutes gone through 15 tracks of the Rarities, and I'm going to put this out as one bumper episode, because why the fuck not, Nate?
Exactly.
Why the fuck not? It's been very, very much needed. Can you pick like a firm favourite? Do you have like a top 1, a top 2, a top 3?
I have a top. I could probably pick a top 3, but not in any particular order.
All right, go for it.
Out Here on My Own.
Yeah.
Here We Go Round Again.
Okay.
And Lullaby Birdland.
My top 3 in any order would be definitely Out Here on My Own.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a special song because we heard it together.
That's our song.
Oh my god,
that's our song. Out Here on My Own.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go with All I Live For. Oh my god, and Do You Think of Me or Everything Fades Away? Depending on what mood I'm in.
I didn't pick those in my top 3
because they already existed.
Because they already existed. We know.
Okay, right. You know what we're gonna do now?
Just saying. We
are gonna play a Rarities edition of Spin, Pin, or Bin. Let's do it. So, very quick reminder for those of you listening. The rules are 3 songs at random. Yes. This week, it is only songs from the Rarities.
Okay.
1 has to be spin.
Okay.
1 for pin and 1 for bin. So spin, pin, or bin. Spin is love it, keep it. Mm-hmm. Play that now. Right now.
Okay.
Pin is meh.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Just hit me because I know it's going to be the 3 that I've just said.
Maybe another time. And bin is, yeah, I'll let that go. I'm going to throw it out and never get to play it again.
Okay.
So, the 3 songs are you ready?
Just hit me.
Let's shuffle. Oh my gosh, here we go. The first song is Close My Eyes 2020.
Okay.
We've got I Pray and Mesmerized.
Oh!
Now, there's actually sidestepped a lot of the stronger ones for me. So, okay, Close My Eyes, I Pray and Mesmerize. Spin, pin or bin, what are you going to do?
Spin, I Pray.
Okay.
Close My Eyes, pin.
Mm-hmm.
And bin, Mesmerized.
I'm going to spin, close my eyes, which I never thought I didn't think I would spin that over anything, but it's so precious to Mariah and it is beautiful. Because I think of that version, I think of the whole feeling of the memoir. Like it just that.
I think that's why she did it.
Yeah. So Close My Eyes 2020 acoustic version. I will spin. I will pin. I Pray because it means I get to save it for another day. Just not play it right now. And Mesmerize out of the three. I guess sadly would go in the bin. But guys, let us know what you would do with those songs. And we are out of time. We are. Guys, if you made it to the end of this episode, cheers, bravo, congrats, toast to you, stand
cheers,
in
bravo.
O.
Yes.
Nathan and I are going to continue chatting on the after show, extra chop, because we've still got a little splash here to finish. But this has been so much fun, just like sit and talk in person. I know the camera situation, the lighting situation
was
a bit, no voice memos, no like swapping back and forth on WhatsApp, on Instagram, and I love speaking to all of you wonderful guests that join the podcast. But there's something different about doing it actually in person, not like, oh, I'm like 10 p.m. and for you it's like 5 p.m. and there's a dodgy internet connection sometimes. Yeah, I wish every lamb that I talk to could come and, fly down to my little slice of South Coast England and join me here. But
I'm sure it won't be the last time I'm on the podcast.
No. But we are going to powder our noses and then we'll be right back for the after show. And Nath's breaking out the shade fan from Mariah's Pride collection. Well, Nayth, let's have a little toast. Cheers, bravo. Cheers, thanks a lot.
Cheers, thanks a lot.